welcome again. Welcome to a new program. Welcome back. It's good to see you again. Me alegro mucho de veros de nuevo. It's good. Es bueno. Ello es bueno. It is good. Se dice muchísimo en el mundo de habla inglesa. It's good to see you again. I am so glad you're here, all of you, because we have a lot of work today. 2 hours of hard work, working on high-level English for the super intelligent, because I have with me a guest today whom I think you know, and she is definitely a member of the super intelligent. So I have el reto está servido para mí. Yes, I have a real challenge today, how to find ways to make her grow. Okay, or at least to make her English grow. She's a big girl, all right, but I'll make her English grow, or at least I'll try, okay? And if I am defeated, well, at least I will have tried. Yes, no se llega a la categoría de vencido sin haber luchado. Entonces hay que luchar. Okay, so I will fight to find ways to make this class stimulating for our guest and to make her English grow even more. Okay? Now, I'm wearing a new shirt. I didn't buy it. I didn't buy this shirt. The people here, the technical people, said I need more different types of clothing, so they went and bought shirts, sweaters, pullovers. Vaya perrillas que me hacen, They're putting this type of shirt on me. Come on. I'm not convinced. What do you think? Do you like this shirt or not? Does it go with my skin color, my hair, my eyes? Okay. Hace juego. Does it go with it? Does it match? I don't know. But for the next 2 hours, I am forced to wear this shirt. So if you don't like it, just overlook it. Pasar por alto. Don't even look at it. Okay, but before we start, I want to introduce you to our guest. And you probably know her, Eva. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Are you glad to be here?
Yes, I am.
Are you nervous today?
No, I'm not.
Huh. ¿No hay confianza? ¿No es como se ha dicho?
No hay confianza, Daco.
Okay, Daco. Okay. Okay, good. But are you ready to do something difficult, or do you prefer to do something a bit easy?
Difficult.
Difficult?
Yes.
All right.
Let's go.
Yeah. Ask me what year I came to Spain the first time.
What year? What?
Did
What year did you come to Spain for the first time?
In 1972. Ask me how old I was when I came.
How old were you when you came for the first time?
I was 20. Ask me if I was impressed with the country.
Were you impressed with the country?
Country.
Country.
No, country. Well, it depends on how you consider the word impressed. Sí, causó una impresión, por supuesto.
Mm-hmm.
Pero impressed in English means impresión. Wow, fantastic, incredible. No. I liked the country very, very much. Okay? But I wasn't impressed. It made a strong impression. It made a good impression, but I wasn't impressed. That's important because the adjective impressed is something de categoría 10. That, wow, it's casi como asombrado. You're impressed, wow. For example, your progress in English, I'm impressed, wow. Okay, for example. No, and I liked it very much. Mm-hmm. Ask me what the first city was that I visited.
What was the first city you visited?
First was Barcelona. Ask me how I got to Barcelona.
How did you get to Barcelona?
Good, repeat.
How did you get Barcelona?
¿Y la preposición dónde está? How did you get?
To Barcelona.
Very good. How did you get to Barcelona?
To Barcelona.
I went from Paris to Barcelona by train. Okay. And ask me what the first thing is I noticed about Spain and Barcelona.
What was the first thing you noticed about Barcelona?
The word pisos. The word pisos.
Why?
Ask me why I saw that word.
Why did you see that word?
Word. Okay, listen. I left Paris in the afternoon, and by the time we reached the border, it was the following morning. Mm-hmm. Okay? Now, at Portbou. And then we entered Catalonia, and we reached Barcelona probably around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It was a slow train, I think. And I was looking out the window of the train, looking at a new country, and Apparently, the train was going through Badalona. All right. There were probably, there must have been, probablemente habría, o seguramente que había, there must have been at least 200 buildings. And it said, 20 pisos, 20 pisos, 20 pisos. Ask me what year this was.
What year was it?
It was, what year was that?
Was that?
It was 1972.
1972,
Good.
okay.
Yeah, it was in August 1972. Now, and for me, I didn't understand that sign, those signs. Ask me why I didn't understand them.
Why didn't you understand them?
Because for me, I had been studying Spanish for 6 years, and piso was suelo.
And
I was learning Mexican Spanish.
okay.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Un piso era un suelo, no un apartamento. Do you understand?
Yes.
And so I was saying, están vendiendo suelos por todos lados aquí. It's strange. I thought it was strange to sell floors. Very quickly, a question of one day, I learned that piso was apartment or a flat.
And how did you say piso? In
Piso
Spanish?
también. I don't know. I think it was the same, piso. No.
But how did you learn?
Apartamento.
Okay.
Casa y apartamento.
Okay.
And when I came here, it was piso y chalet.
Yeah.
Okay, it's different. Casa is una vivienda, any type, mi casa. Okay. Whereas in the States, a house is what the British call a detached house. All right. When what you call here un chalet. All right. And an apartment or condominium in the United States is un piso. Really, a condominium is un piso. Donde tú eres propietario de una parte común in condominio. All right. In any case, ask me if I would have gone to Barcelona if I had had a high fever.
Would you? Would you have gone to Barcelona if you had had a fever?
A high fever?
A high fever?
Yes, I would have gone anyway. Ask me why I would have gone anyway.
Why would you have gone anyway?
Because I had to go. Ask me why I had to go.
Why did you have to go?
Because I was with a group, and it was scheduled. All right? Ask me what the group leader would have done if I had had a 40-degree fever.
What would the leader have done?
The group leader.
The group leader have done if you had had 40 degrees of fever? 40 degrees of fever?
No escucha. A 40-degree fever.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
What would the group leader have done if you had had 40 degree?
A 40?
A 40 degree of fever.
No.
40 degree fever.
Una fiebre. Se dice fiebre en
sí.
Una fiebre.
De 40 grados.
Claro. El adjetivo. ¿Qué tipo de fiebre? Una fiebre de 40 grados. A 40-degree fever.
Okay.
A big fever. A small fever. A long fever. A short fever. A 40-degree fever. Okay? Ask me what the group leader would have done if I had had a 40-degree fever.
Okay. What would the group leader have done if you had had a 40-degree fever?
Good. He probably would have left me in Paris.
Alone.
Alone.
By yourself.
Ask me if I would have flown back to the States after that.
Would you have flown for...
Flown.
Flown?
Fly.
Fly, flown?
Fly. Escucha. Fly. Ask me what the past tense is of fly.
What is the past
tense?
Past tense of fly?
Flew.
Flew.
Ask me what the participle is of fly.
What is the participle of fly?
Flown.
Flown.
Now,
okay.
Flown. Ask me if I would have flown back to the States after recovering from the fever.
Would you have flown to... Flown.
No, es un N al final, no una T.
Okay. Would you have flown to the United States?
States.
And I don't remember the...
All right, because they're distracting. All right, the people here are distracting.
No.
Now, ask me if I would have flown back to the States after recovering.
Okay. Would you have flown back to the United States when you recovered?
No, I wouldn't have. Ask me what I would have done.
What would you have done?
I would have caught a train or a plane to Barcelona.
Okay, later.
But I didn't contract a fever, so it wasn't necessary. I went to Barcelona. Ask me what my first impression was of Barcelona.
What was your first impression of Barcelona?
It was good. Yeah, it was my first impression was good. Ask me what my first impression would have been if my pocket had been picked on the first day.
What would your...
Ask me what my first impression was good.
This is difficult. Yes.
I didn't tell you it was going to be.
Okay. I like it.
My first impression was good. Now, because nothing bad happened to me, okay? Now, ask me if my first impression would have been good if somebody had picked my pocket.
Okay.
Right here.
Would your first impression of Barcelona have been good?
Have been.
Have been good if you have been
Pickpocketed.
Pickpocketed.
If you had been.
Had been pocketed.
Pickpocketed.
Been.
Es que si tú hubieras sido.
Had been.
Pickpocketed.
Pickpocketed. Okay.
Yes. Okay. If I had been walking down the Ramblas on my first evening in Barcelona, and by the end of the Ramblas in the port said, "Where's my wallet?"
So usual.
I probably wouldn't have had such a good impression of Barcelona. All right. Ask me if I have ever lost my wallet.
Have you ever lost your wallet?
Not in my entire life. Never. Well, to misplace it at home, yes. Where's my wallet? I can't remember. Finding it in the closet in a pocket, okay. But I never lost my wallet.
Never?
Never. I have never been pickpocketed. Ask me what the first thing is I did when I got to Barcelona.
What was the first thing you did when you arrived, when you got to Barcelona?
I went to the Ramblas. Ask me how I knew the Ramblas existed.
How did you know the Ramblas existed? Existed.
Yes, because I was in a group of students, and there were 2 or 3 professors. 2 of them were Spanish, and of course they said you must go to the Ramblas. Ask me if I enjoyed walking down the Ramblas.
Did you enjoy walking down the Ramblas?
Of course I did. Who doesn't?
Yes.
Have you ever walked down the Ramblas?
Yes, I have.
Have you ever walked up the Ramblas?
I think so. Yes, I have.
All right. How many times have you walked down or up the Ramblas?
A few times.
¿Unas pocas veces o bastantes veces?
Bastantes veces.
Pues dilo bien.
A few times.
No, quite a few.
Quite a few times.
Es curioso. A few times significa muy pocas. Bueno, pocas. Few times. Few times es muy pocas veces. Quite a few son bastantes veces. Simplemente con colocar quite delante de a few, radicalmente cambias el significado. So I walked down the Ramblas. Ask me if I walked all the way to the port.
Did you walk all the way to the port?
No, I didn't. Ask me why I didn't.
Why didn't you walk all the way along, all the way to the port?
Because one of the professors suggested we stop. Okay. Now, ask me if I would have walked to the port if that professor hadn't been in the group.
Would you have walked to the port if this professor hadn't been in the group?
In the group?
In the
or
group?
In the group.
In the group.
To group is ir a tientas.
I was thinking in the have been. Okay, in the group.
Yes, I would have continued walking, but we stopped. Ask me why we stopped.
Why did you stop?
Because the professor wanted to introduce us to something, not to someone, to something. Ask me what the professor wanted to introduce us to.
What did he want you to introduce?
No. Quería.
Yes.
Escucha. Ask me. Se te está trabando la lengua. All right, now ask me what the professor wanted to introduce to us.
Okay. What did the professor want to introduce you? To you?
Churros.
Good idea.
Yes. Ask me if I had ever eaten churros before.
Had you ever eaten churros before?
No, I had never eaten churros before. This was my first evening in Spain in my life. Okay? Because we entered Spain through Port Bo in Catalonia, in Girona, I think, Girona. And we, by train, in the morning, and we arrived in Barcelona perhaps at 3 or 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We went by bus to the student residence where we were staying at the University of Barcelona along El Diagonal, what is today called El Diagonal. And then we had still some time, the evening. It was early evening, like 7 p.m., 6:30, 7 p.m. And one of the professors says, let me take you to the best place in Barcelona. And he took us to the Plaza Catalunya at the top of the Ramblas. And we started walking down. And as we were walking down, he said, aha, look, by the way, so let's stop here. And so he introduced us to churros. Yeah, authentic Spanish technology. All right.
Yes.
Yes. Asked if we sat down to have churros.
If you, sorry?
Ask me, all right?
Yes.
If we sat down to try churros.
Did you sit down to eat churros?
Yes, we did. Now, let's go back to the original question.
Yes.
Ask me if I had ever eaten churros before.
Have you ever... Had you ever eaten churros before?
No, I had never eaten churros before. Ask me if I had ever seen churros before.
Had you ever seen churros before?
No, I had never seen churros before.
No.
Ask me if I had ever heard of churros.
Had you ever heard about churros?
No, escuche como lo digo. Ask me if I had ever heard of churros.
Okay, not about. Had you ever heard of churros?
No, I hadn't. I had never heard of churros. To hear about is oír hablar de ellos, que alguien te lo explica. To hear of is simplemente oír el nombre. For example, I've never heard of Arturo. I don't know. No, I've heard of him. Sí me suena el nombre. Además sé algo de él. I've heard about him. ¿Has oído lo último de Arturo Pérez Reverte? Have you heard about Arturo? No, what happened? Have you heard about Arturo? Who's he? I've never heard of him. Yeah. Have you heard about what happened to Dag Hammarskjöld the other day?
No.
No?
No.
I've
never heard of him.
You've never heard of him? My God, you're the only person on this planet.
I'm the only one.
I remember one time, I was in a hotel in Estoril, in Portugal, and I was in the elevator, and two strange people, American people, but strange, they walked in and into the elevator, and I said, well, it's interesting, I see a lot of people like you in the hotel. What is going on? What's going on in the hotel? And they said, it's a Mooney convention.
A Mooney?
Mooney, como luna con Y, o I-E al final, Mooney convention. And I said, what's that? And they turned and said, you don't know what Moonies are? I said, no, I don't. What are Moonies? Apparently in the United States at that time, it was the most important strange religious sect.
Okay.
And the Moonies had married 5,000 people simultaneously in California. And they were having a convention.
In Estoril.
In Estoril. And they were so surprised that I had never heard of, ni about, because they and other people have heard things about the Moonies every day. And I had never even heard of them.
Okay.
I'd never even heard of them. Now I have, okay? But nevertheless, getting back to my Barcelona experience, we stopped. And I had never even heard of churros. Oh, ask me if we tried them.
Did you try them?
Yes, we did. Me and some other students, we tried them. Asked me if I would have tried them if they had looked strange.
Would you have tried them if they had looked strange?
Looked strange. If they looked strange, yes, I would have tried them. I'm a brave
What do you
person.
mean with strange?
Oh, it's una pinta rara. Una
churros.
Comida. No. No, if churros, for example, had looked like brains, do you understand?
Brains.
Sesos.
Okay.
You know.
You
see, if they didn't look strange.
Okay.
But if they had looked strange, I said, ugh, what's that? Try it, try it, come on.
Spanish
it's
food.
Delicious. I don't know.
Okay.
What do they taste like? Okay. So, have you ever eaten brains?
Yes, I have.
Do you like them?
No, I don't.
Do they look awful?
Yes, they do.
They do. Okay.
Yes.
All right. But in any case, the churros didn't look bad. But ask me if I was reluctant to try them.
Were you reluctant to try? Reluctant.
Eso.
To try them?
De hecho, el otro día un español dijo reluctante. Estoy reluctante. ¿Y por qué? Estaba incorporando él mismo una palabra extranjera. Soy reacio a, o estoy reacio. Reticente, reacio. Okay? Ask me if I was reluctant to try them.
Were you reluctant? To try them?
Yes, I was. Ask me why.
Why were you reluctant to try them? Reluctant to try them?
Because I think maybe in Barcelona, I'm not sure, churros are eaten in a different way. Ask me how the churros were served.
How were they served?
They were served on a plate, mini churros with a lot of sugar on them. Do you understand?
Yes.
Ask me if I like sugar.
Do you like sugar?
Not too much. Ask me if I use sugar in my coffee.
Do you use sugar in your coffee?
Sugar.
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 Sure.
¿Cómo
se dice deberías?
You should.
Should. Quita la última parte. Sugar.
Sugar.
Girl. Girl. How do you say chica?
Girl.
Sugar.
Sugar.
Sugar. Da,
Sugar.
Da, da, da. Don't you know the song?
Yes.
Sugar, sugar. Honey, honey.
Yeah, but I say sugar.
Sugar. Nada. Sugar.
Sugar.
Sugar. Sugar. Sugar.
Sugar.
Girl.
Should girl.
Should girl. Debería chica. Should girl.
Should girl.
Should. No shoot.
Should girl.
Should. Would.
So difficult.
Could. Should, would, could. Repeat.
Should. Would, could.
All right. Well, sugar.
Flavor.
There was sugar on it, and I don't like sugar. I don't like sweet things. Ask me how much sugar I use in my coffee.
How much sugar do you use in your coffee?
Half a packet. You know, only half. Half a packet. And if it's black, nothing.
Yeah.
Café solo is nothing. I use it when there's some milk. I use some sugar. Okay, good. Now, there was a lot of sugar on the churros. And the churros, ask me if we dunked the churros in coffee.
Did you
dunk
the churros in the coffee?
In coffee.
In coffee?
No, I didn't. We ate the churros. Ask me if they were good.
Were they good?
They were not bad. They were okay. I liked them. And when I came to Madrid, ask me how many weeks later I came to Madrid.
How many weeks later did you come to Madrid?
2 weeks later. Ask me if I tried churros immediately.
Did you try churros immediately?
Yes, I did. Ask me if they had sugar on them.
Did they have sugar on it?
On them?
On them?
Did they? Repeat.
Did they
have
sugar on them?
No, they didn't, because in Madrid it's not common.
Yes. No.
Okay, just normal sugar, churros, porras, and you just dunk them in your coffee.
But did you try porras or churros?
Churros. They were churros, yeah. Now, ask me if I would have eaten them if they had had too much sugar on them.
Would you have eaten them if they had had too much sugar on them?
I wouldn't have tried them. It's too much sugar, no. That's what we did after eating the churros.
What did you do after eating? What did you do after eating churros?
We went to the port. Ask me if I remember going to the port that evening.
Did you remember going?
Do you?
Do you remember going to the port that evening?
Yes, I do. Ask me why.
Why do you remember going to the port that evening?
Because I saw something in the port that I thought was interesting. Yeah, ask me what I saw.
What did you see?
I saw the Santa Maria, the ship, or a replica
Yes.
of the Santa Maria.
Yes.
And ask me if I would remember that evening if the Santa Maria hadn't been there.
Would you have?
No, would you remember now?
Would you remember that evening if the Santa Maria hadn't been there?
Si no hubiera estado ahí?
Yes.
En aquel momento. Probably I would have remembered the port anyway, because the Barcelona port is an interesting port.
Yes.
At the end of the Ramblas, it's prepared for to be a port. And it was different at that time. The Barceloneta was different, the Zona Franca, everything was different than today. Okay, it was very interesting. Ask me how much time we have left.
How much time do we have left?
We have 1 minute left.
Right.
Ask me if the next half hour is going to be as easy as this one.
Is going to be
Is the next
hour going to be so easy? That easy.
Escucha, y no quiero que se nos cambie el tiempo. A ver si lo haces bien antes de que me los corten. Okay, ask me if the next half hour is going to be as easy as this half hour.
Is the next hour going to be as easy as this
half hour?
Half hour?
Yes, the next half hour is going to be even easier.
Even easier for you.
Than this one.
No, for me.
But in any case, bring me the camera. Well, pop me. Okay, hello. Listen, the next half hour is going to be tough for our little friend over here. And but we're going to make her use the language hasta las últimas consecuencias, to the hilt, to the final consequences. Thank you, and I'll be back. We'll be back in 5 minutes, so don't go away.